What's up, EQ lovers? I'm your host, Devon J.
And I'm Jamie D.
On episode 5, we will be discussing the 5 love languages,
which are physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, and acts of service. Be sure to tune in.
Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at PodEQLove, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
So before we actually get into the topic of love languages, we wanted to start with the basic question of what is love?
So, what is love? We didn't look this up on Google or Wikipedia. We just went straight to the Bible, and we found in 1 Corinthians 13:4-8, which states
that love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails.
So, hearing that scripture, you EQ lovers out there listening, I can understand if you have the thought in your head that, have I ever truly loved someone before now? So if you're having this thought in your head, it's fine. Just make sure to read that scripture over and over again, and you'll soon get it. You'll definitely get it. I'll just leave it at that. Let's talk about love languages.
So there are a total of 5 love languages. The love languages are physical touch, quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, and receiving gifts. Okay. So in this quiz, by the way, it's a good quiz. It's a good quiz to take. It's pretty dead on. It's accurate, in my opinion. If you guys have not taken this quiz, there is a link in our bio on Instagram and Facebook. You click on that link, it'll take you to the quiz. You could take the couples. They have a singles one. And a teen one, actually.
Teen one?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
We took the couples one. And my score was quality time 1. So there's 31 questions. Mm-hmm. And out of the 31 questions, I answered 9 questions that was dealing with quality time, which was my first score, my highest score. Quality time is something very easy for me. I base my relationships off of the chemistry from the start. So if I'm in a serious relationship, typically the chemistry is very strong. So that brings quality time within that situation. So that's why that, I guess that ranked me as number 1 for my score. Next was acts of service. And out of the 31 questions, I answered 8 questions pertaining to acts of service. Acts of service is something big for me too. That's how I express my love, through action. I guess I get that from my background history with my family. My dad and my aunt, they raised me pretty much so. And both of them, I never heard them they never expressed the love that they have for me until I went off to college. Mm. So did I know that they loved me? Of course. But the actions that they showed me indicated the love that they have for me.
Okay.
Number 3 was receiving gifts, and I answered 7 questions out of the 31 in receiving gifts. Yeah, I definitely like to receive gifts. I guess my upbringings, I was very spoiled. Yeah, and I feel like if someone gave me gifts just because it is an action that shows that you care for me, but I'm not selfish when it comes to this. I definitely can admit I would be the one that gives more gifts in a relationship. But number 4 was physical touch, and I answered 5 questions out of the 31 for physical touch. Physical touch, that was my second to last one. It's not the biggest deal for me. I guess that's the guy in me speaking. I don't know. But I don't know. I growing up again, my dad never showed any, PDA in front of me. My aunt, she was divorced at a very young age in my life, so I never really seen her with a dude. So physical touch is something that is not too big on my category. And last but not least, words of affirmation. Out of the 31 questions, I answered 2 for words of affirmation.
That's unfortunate.
Yes, it is very unfortunate. Like I said before, my history and my family, we don't express the I love yous or things like that. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't love each other. We know we love each other, but we just don't say it as much. So enough about me. Let's talk about your score, Miss Jamie.
So, words of affirmation was your last, and words of affirmation was my number 1.
How ironic.
I scored a 9 on words of affirmation. That words in general is just a big deal for me. I would contribute that to my upbringing. I need to hear you affirm me, whether it's in a letter or you saying it out loud. Those words mean a lot. So yeah, my second one was acts of service, which was an 8 for me. So we actually had that one the same. I'm kind of big on serving people, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised that acts of service is one for me because it's so easy for me to do it. Like let me warm this up for you. Or if I see something that just needs to be done, it's so easy for me to jump in and do it. So that's a given. Physical touch, I was actually surprised physical touch was my 3rd, and I scored 7 on physical touch. Physical touch, it's hard for me to explain this one because I didn't grow up in a home or in a family that was really affectionate. So all that hugging and kissing, and we didn't really do that. I didn't really see that with my dad or my mom, like in relationships either. So I think I might be opposite, where I thought physical touch wasn't a big deal, and I'm realizing that because I didn't see it, I realized I need it, so I do it. I'm really not affectionate with family, but I am more affectionate in relationships. The 4th one was quality time. Only scored a 4 on quality time. That's the one I was surprised. I thought that would be 3, but I guess I'm weird because I'm not the super clingy type.
Mm-hmm.
So like after so much time, it's like, okay, do you have friends? Like, yeah, you can go find something to do. I kind of enjoy moments to myself. So I don't mind being around my partner or being around somebody I'm interested in, but I do like time to miss them. So that
Gotcha.
makes sense. And then my last one, guys, was receiving gifts. That was 3. And you might think that's crazy. Like, I guess if you know me, you'd be like,
Yeah, I thought she was a gold digger.
boy, I know you lying. Anyway, I think I come off as like bougie. If I come off as bougie, then you might think I like gifts.
Did you just try to say bougie, like in a bougie way?
Bourgeois.
Yeah.
I like nice things. I can't help that. Okay? Like, I like nice things. But somebody buying me something, I'm like, thank you. Wow. Thank you.
A fake thank you.
It's not fake. I mean,
It's just if
it's
it doesn't,
like I
if it doesn't,
appreciate it.
yeah. But if it doesn't have reason behind it, it's not.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I need reason behind it because you writing me a letter would mean more than a $250 purse.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's definitely good to know, guys out there. If you're with someone, it could save you a lot of money. But,
now that don't mean don't get me stuff.
Nah, you done
or
already
don't
said
get her
it.
stuff.
You done
Or
already
whomever.
said it.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you'll get further serving me or giving me words which don't cost anything.
Got you. Yeah. So that was your score, and I just talked about my score. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to break these love languages down, and we're going to try to help the EQ lovers out there listening to give some examples of what you could do in your relationship to keep things going smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
So which one you want to start off with?
You know what? Let me do words of affirmation.
Yes,
since that's my number one, and that's like your.
Yes, that's my second one. That was my. Yeah, help me out. Help me out there.
Okay. So words of affirmation, things that you can do to show that love language. Yes, of course you can say things out of your mouth, and men, let me tell y'all, just saying I love you is not, I won't say it's not a word of affirmation. It is, but it only affirms one part of the relationship.
That's important. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I definitely thought it's hard for me to say I love you to whoever I'm with. Even if I do love them, it's hard for me to actually say it. But once I get to that point and I actually say it, I feel that, well, before I took this quiz, because I definitely learned a lot taking this quiz, I do know that it's more to the words of affirmation. Mm-hmm. You women out there, you need, not just women, I think if men, if they scored high on words of affirmation, I think people just in general, they need confirmation on what their it feelings. Is of their feelings or what they have done in a relationship. Am I right? Kind of, sort of, or
not just in a relationship, but who they are as a person.
So in other words, what they bring to the table, they need confirmation on that.
Right. So you can do that by writing letters. Maybe having her wake up to a letter or something.
Right.
Putting notes in random places that you know, like if they are a note taker, you know, and you have a random note in their notebook. My mom used to do that all the time. I still find notebooks and I'll be like, oh, my mom wrote me a note.
No, okay.
You know, writing notes is big. Sometimes social media like WCW, Man Crush Mondays, stuff like that, just put in even you know, words. You know, I love how you do this. I love how beautiful you are. They just people who like or whose love language is words of affirmation just want to hear what we mean to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll since we talked about your number one, we'll talk about my number one, and mine's was quality time.
Okay. That was like not high on my list.
Yeah, so let me help you out
Thank
a little
you.
bit on that. Since that wasn't high on your list, you could get to the point where maybe your man lose track of time. He out too late, or he could I don't know. He could just be real comfortable with hanging out with the homeboys.
Sure
And
can.
yeah, cause
'Cause I
you
don't
get
be
yeah, but you don't be tripping until it's
too much until it goes too far.
so definitely have to know how to
If I give you a foot, don't take a yard.
exactly.
Yeah.
So with quality time with EQ lovers out there listening, I feel if that's big on her or his list, but it's not so big on your list, I feel you should probably come up with a day or a couple of days out of the week where you both agree that this is our day. Or if your schedules are busy, maybe y'all could come up with a time period after every day. So like when your day ends, say you're done with work at 5 o'clock or you're done at 6 o'clock. You get done whatever you need to do after work, go to the store or whatever. But after 9 or after 9:30 or whatever comes, y'all decide to dedicate that time until y'all go to sleep to each other. I feel like
that's a good suggestion.
that's a
Maybe even a
suggestion.
TV show. Like you guys
Yeah, a
have
TV show.
I don't know. Is that quality time?
Yeah, I mean it is with me. I mean I'm big with that. Like I said, that was number one for me. So TV shows. I know my past relationship, I used to watch Family Feud like all the time, or just like I remember I started watching Insecure. Like my ex, she got me hipped on Insecure. So just anything. No, Netflix and chill. It's just you never know. So we'll talk about acts of service. Acts of service.
That was both of ours. So
That was something that we actually were similar to. I could tell you this for acts of service. This was something that I did in my past relationship. I'm a type of person that doesn't really make my bed. I don't really see the point in it if you're gonna get back into the bed. Only times I make my bed is if I'm going out of town and I come back, you just want to see your bed made. But other than that, or if somebody's coming over, I'll make my bed. But other than that, I'm not really making my bed. But if I'm in a relationship and I know that she likes the bed made and I'm the last person out of the bed, I'll make the bed. So I look at that being like acts of service because it's something that I don't really want to do. It's just something to please her.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I stated earlier, acts of service is easy for me to do. And for me, it's more so looking at how I can make their life easier. So If I like to eat, so probably always eating, but like warming up his food to me is an act of service. It's not a huge thing, but it's a service.
Right.
I don't know. Like with men, I feel like it's a little different with serving them, because I haven't found y'all to be so particular about things as much as women, as much as we are. So just the little things that he doesn't like doing, or I just think could make things just a little bit better.
Are you having a hard time like figuring out what those are?
Yeah,
Because as a man, I can help.
What
I can help.
do?
I can help. I mean, acts of service. Like we get home from a long day at work, can rub our back.
Okay, that's act of
You know,
service. That's like
yeah.
physical touch.
I'm.
It's both.
I don't know. I feel like I'm athletic, so I play softball on the weekend. So after a long tournament, I'm sore. You can maybe ice my leg or whatever, just or have the bath ready for me when I get home.
You want a whole bath.
I'm just yeah.
Because I was really trying to think if
It's a lot.
acts of service in my marriage, and I'm like,
Did you?
I feel like I gave more gifts,
Mm-hmm.
but I really that's terrible. I'm trying to. I can't think.
Oh, that's not good.
That's
Jamie.
not good.
Nah, it's not good.
I'm selling on myself, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on to something where I can redeem
I'll help
myself.
you out. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So we'll talk about receiving gifts.
Child, that's my last one. That is not
that
going
was
to redeem me right
that
now.
was So I mean, you're already in a funk. So we'll just continue it.
We're just gonna stay in
Receiving gifts. Honestly, I think this is key. I do this. I've done this in my relationships before. I may hear my partner say they need something just in a random conversation. And, if I got some extra money, I may go out and get it and just surprise her with it.
See, that right there, I would be like, whoa. Because to me, that wouldn't be received necessarily as me getting a gift. As much as it's an act of service because you paid attention to a need.
Right.
Or even a want that I had. To me, that registers as like, wow.
Yeah.
This man loves me. Yeah. But if you just give me something random, I'll appreciate random gifts.
Yeah, okay? But it's not.
But, like flowers is nice. But
I give a lot of flowers. I give a lot. I get that from my father. He
gives flowers.
Yeah, he gives flowers.
That's
show
nice.
First, a few dates, show up with flowers. It don't have to be a big old bouquet or just be a little rose. Right. I got a lot of old school in me. Yeah.
Okay.
So the last one is physical touch.
Now that was my third.
Yeah. So with physical touch, that was my fourth one. But I learned taking this quiz that it's good to if you got problems with that, this is a way right here. When you walk in the house to your significant other, you can have a routine where when you see her, you greet her, but you greet her with a hug or you greet her with a kiss or something like that.
Yeah. Find checkpoints that are like easy for you to remember.
Right.
When even if, y'all don't live together, just whenever you guys see each other and physical touch is an issue for you, remind yourself every time I see her, hug her, or every time I see her, kiss her, or something. Or women, if y'all are real iffy about that. Because not all women like physical touch.
I know, that makes it real difficult sometimes for a guy.
Women, we have to train our minds too. Like, even if it's a side hug, because we can get real like, I don't want him to touch me.
Give him that church hug.
Yeah, give him the church hug, but it's touch.
Mm-hmm.
So it may not be to the level that he might want it, but for you, it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Or when you're driving, hold hands.
Mm.
That's an easy one.
That is an easy one.
I mean, you're right there.
There's nobody really watching.
Ain't nobody watch.
It's just a little small gesture that can help you out.
Yeah.
So, the EQ side of the 5 love languages is really learning how to receive your partner's love language. Because once you learn this, you'll know how to reciprocate their love language. And at this stage, you're growing into your role.
So, what do you mean by growing into your role?
This really means that no one comes complete into a relationship. We grow into our roles. That was that was a quote that I got from my uncle. He's an OG in the game. But that pretty much means that, no one comes correct in a relationship.
Okay.
But if you use the 5 love languages and are willing to compromise amongst those 5, now you're accepting your role in a relationship.
Okay. The role that, in a way, is expected of you.
It could be expected.
Or what's needed for this relationship to thrive.
I think that's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I think it used to be this concept of I'm incomplete without my partner, almost like 2 halves coming together to make a whole. And now it seems to be that we've kind of gotten away from this half and half thing into we're coming into a relationship whole, but there's a new wholeness that comes along with us now being together. And as far as learning to receive your partner's love language in this role, I think you have to be conscious of how you're responding is really what we're saying. Be conscious of how you respond to their love language. Because that's going to create a lot of problems if me being a words of affirmation person and I'm always like, Divine, this is how I feel, this is what I think, and whoop de whoop de whoop. And if you always look at me like I'm crazy, or if you say something back to me like, why are you saying that? That will be taken as a dig. If your thing is quality time and the response is like, I don't want to spend time with you, or it'll be taken as, dang, you don't love me. And we have to really consider how we're responding, because in this moment it's really not about you, and we have to remember that whether you like it or not, it needs to be about the other person.
So, do you feel if love languages isn't being reciprocated, that's the reason why people fall out of love?
Ooh. I think that could be a part of it. When I was married, we had went to the bank actually. And this guy, we were talking to them and talking to him, and he was like, I'm gonna give you guys advice that somebody gave me. And he said marriage is like a bank account, and he was like, whatever you put into it is what you'll be able to get out of it. And so I kind of register that with the love and the love languages, because if I constantly give you your love language at times where like you guys are not getting along, or at times where you need something to hold on to because you want to give up, you should always be able to go to that bank account and be like, I can withdraw something, because I remember when he did this or he said that or she did this, and it'll help you continue to go forward. I think when that bank account is depleted and you're trying to go get something to pull out to help you hold on, and there's nothing there to help you hold on, is where I don't think love is even a fall into and fall out of. I really think love is more of a decision thing. And when you feel like it's not worth it, or me loving you is hurting me more than helping me, then I think people start to withdraw from that. Things that are said or done that you can never take back sometimes damages a relationship, and there's certain things you just can never get back again after that.
Okay. So we got an EQ question for our listeners, and this question is, what makes it so hard for you to speak their love language?
And by there, we're meaning like your partner's love language.
Right.
Why is it so difficult sometimes? I would say that in some cases, it could be an offense that happened, especially when you know their love language and you know how to speak it, but you just choose not to. I think sometimes something may have happened that caused you to feel away, or maybe even cause you to like withdraw from them, and therefore you feel like, I don't deserve to put forth this effort anymore because I'm hurt.
So speak more on to like maybe like an experience like with your past relationships or something, so my EQ lovers out there could really like understand what you're saying. And yes, I'm putting you on the spot right now.
Yeah, I see. I have plenty. Okay, plenty
Just
of offenses. I'm gonna give y'all something
A
real
light
lightweight.
gesture, just
nothing.
something light. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I remember that we did a like couples dinner, and I'm a person that I can really be in like sweats and tennis shoes, but when I dress up, I like to dress up. I don't really have an in between, so I was really excited about an opportunity to actually put on clothes, and I was like coordinating outfits or something, and I had these pants and this shirt. So in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm really doing it. And his response to me was something of like, why you got to do all that? And I really took that personally. Yeah, so because of that, it kind of made me, and to be honest, even to this day, I can't really tell you probably what my ex-husband's love languages are. He seemed very nonchalant about everything.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. Like I can agree with you on that. Like I said, taking this quiz it's a good tool to have, like to have with you. My past relationships, I couldn't tell you their love languages, but I could have a great idea of probably their number one or their top twos are. But I couldn't tell you really in order. But answering that question, on my view, mine was really I kind of got a little personal here, but mine was, if I give you what you need, you'll no longer need me. So
that's deep.
Yeah.
My counseling juices are flowing.
Yeah,
Tell me more about that.
It was really kind of getting a little personal. I don't think I ever shared this with anybody, but like I said, in my past relationship, I felt like her love language was words of affirmation. But again, that was my last one. Yeah. So that was very, very challenging for me. But I felt the person who I was with, I felt
if I gave her the words of affirmation that she needed, that she would no longer need me.
That's so real.
So I would give her small dosages of the words of affirmation as she was telling me that she needed more. But I felt that if I did give her more, she would feel as if she won. And it was to the point where she just wouldn't need me anymore. I felt like I completed her in all the other categories in a relationship, but that.
Okay. So you purposefully withheld for the sake of still.
Yeah, and I felt like that because I was with her for easily 2 years.
Yeah.
And not expressing, words of affirmation, not really to the extent that she really needed, and we were fine.
I'm gonna speak to women concerning that because I mean that's just real and it's vulnerable, and women, I think sometimes we feel like our men are being difficult, and I think there are sometimes a deeper root to what's really going on. And if we don't make them feel safe in the relationship, safe enough to talk or safe enough to be vulnerable, we'll find ourselves trying to figure out, why does he do this, or why does he, and then we ask and
y'all start blaming
like,
ourselves.
Yeah.
Is it me?
Is
but
it
it's
me?
not really you.
Yeah. But I think if there was a safe space where you could have said, this is how I feel, without getting some type of pushback, or you this way or you that way, you might have said it. I think women, we need to know that men really do have feelings. So we need to be conscious of how they feel and even their backgrounds and what they've been through, and consider that, and not just automatically take it that he's being this way or whatever.
So as we're winding down here, we're going to get into pillow talk. We came up with, we think that y'all should just take the quiz. Like this quiz, like I said, this quiz
Yes,
is
please.
This quiz is very accurate in my opinion. I feel that y'all could be on your phones. Y'all could take this quiz, and y'all could talk about each other's love language, to work on each other and work on the relationship. Because even though y'all take this quiz and y'all working on the love language, this is just taking the quiz is really just the first step. Really trying to work on these love languages it could get difficult if the scores are total, like
lopsided.
Yeah, if the scores are lopsided, that could become very challenging. But I feel that if both people want it to actually work, and they're willing to compromise to maybe meet in the middle, then
It can work.
it could definitely work.
Yeah. And after you do the quiz, when you're talking, this is just like a small little counseling thing that I've learned, but turn towards each other. That's a big thing, especially if you're talking about something deep, and that can be vulnerable for you. And even if you have to hold hands or touch, especially if you just found out the one person just touch, it's just a good way to bring intimacy in that moment when you're dealing with love languages.
That's cute.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We hope you guys enjoyed episode 5, talking about love languages. And please give us feedback on YouTube or Facebook,
all the podcast platforms.
And please tell us what your love language is. We would love to hear from you all about what you're good at, what you're not.
Yeah, we had some people comment on Instagram, and they told us what their love language was. Quality time is ranking pretty high. I totally understand why. I'd be surprised if I see words of affirmation. But if that is your score, please feel free to comment and give us feedback. EQ Love, checking out.
Bye. To all of my EQ lovers out there, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at PodEQLove, subscribe to our YouTube channel at EQ Love Podcast, and remember, we are on all major podcast platforms. And if you have any questions or topics that you would like us to discuss, feel free to message us on social media, or you can email us at podeqlove@gmail.com.